We are single, guys. So if you have brothers, guys, we are single.
Which means, obviously, you guys, you know, guys are asking you out. But where do they ask you out? Do they ask you out where in your workspace, in the hardware? Because I would assume I would see Tebogo in the hardware. What a good drive. I'd see Yolande there looking for a glue. I'd see Lwazi and Zama there looking for a pipe or something. Like, literally, you know, I'm not seeing you. When I'm looking for you, I should just go to Builders or Cash Builds. There, you know, I'm like, yeah.
But you know what, Tebogo?
Wow.
That is the misconception. Tebogo, that is the misconception that perpetuates their society. That if a woman does anything that is perceived and seen to be masculine, then she is very masculine in every other aspect.
I know,
you know,
right?
we are seen as are supposed to look a certain way because we do DIY, because we work with power tools, and I'm so excited to be on this platform with women who are very much feminine. I love it.
Yes, power to
I
that.
love
I agree.
Ma, where do this guy can the answer? Where do they ask you out?
Sorry?
Manishela, where do these guys ask you out? I would go to an hardware if I'm looking for a Tebogo.
Wow.
When,
On the streets, obviously.
We still get this lady, you know,
Wow.
nothing. We still get like, can I have your numbers?
yeah.
You know, we get all those things, even more sometimes, because we live around them. So, you know, it's too much sometimes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, that's quite interesting to find out. Tebogo, I wanna move to you, right? Being someone in a space of being like a diesel mechanic and doing that every day, you know, working with engines and so forth. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you literally needed a mechanic for yourself and that person is like bullshitting you in terms of maybe pricing or in terms of what's broken? For example, you get a mechanic, tells you the jargon, industry jargon, and half of the time ladies get ripped off. I don't want to lie. You know, they get ripped off a lot.
True.
You know, they get prices that are ridiculous and they explain things. They tell them like things that don't make sense and they say, no, it's 3,000 rand, you know?
Yeah, true. Yes, I actually have experienced that with my first car. It was like I was involved in an accident and there comes a tour guy. First of all, this person sees this girl. It was on Sunday, right? So now I'm in this girly attire. So yeah, then he comes and then he's trying to explain, no, this thing cannot move, cannot do this. I mean, this thing is done, you cannot do that. Like, just a lot of things that does not make sense. And I was looking at him and I was acting all foolish, right? And then after he has just wasted a lot of time, and I said to him, no, but this is this. Like, I started pointing things that he didn't even know, and all the senses that I had knowledge about, right? And then he seemed to be like, okay, you know what you do. Because I think also he was not really technical based. He was just a driver who was like maybe knowing basics of, you know, okay, when you get to the road, you just tow your car like this and that.
Yeah.
And you know, then he came and acted as if he knows what's the problem with the car, what's the problem with this car is going to be written off, this car is so damaged and it cannot function. And then I was like, no ways. I know that the only reason this car is going to be written off is because it popped the air brakes, but the mechanism is all good because it still can lock. Everything else is operational. And he looked at me like, what's happening here? So yeah, like a lot of guys they take advantage. And recently I had a puncher. It was at night. I was coming from one of my family's funeral, right? So now I had a puncher. So I was alone. So I'm thinking, oops, I'm in the middle of nowhere. So now the best thing is for me to drive.
I love that story. Before even
yes.
because in my head I'm thinking, you know, when you're driving past and you see a lady get punched, you know you're gonna get numbers, you know, like if you stop, you're like, I'm gonna get numbers.
Opportunity.
yes, I got a lot of hoots. It's like, and your what, the lights for me to stop, for them to help me. I'm like, no worries. I'm going to drive until I get the garage, and then I'm going to do this for myself. Remember, I'm from the funeral. I'm wearing my dress and all the heels and whatever. Go to the garage, I took off my shoes, and then this petrol attendant came and said, Sisi, can I help you? I'm like, no, I'm going to be fine. Don't worry. Like, they all literally came and stood and like watched me. It was around past 8, I think, late. So I did that, and I changed it, and then I finished, and then he's like, oh, wow. Then, like, everyone else was like, okay. So, and then the other one actually confessed, like, I thought I was gonna get my 50 rand there. I'm like, no way, not on me. So yeah, like, there's a lot of people taking advantage of us ladies that actually don't know the basics, you know. And recently, I've also for interest sake, I've just taught my friend to change the tire, because literally she would be stuck. And I'm like, what's wrong? No, I got a punch. I'm like, you call this back? Really? You've got a spare wheel in your car? Like, it's basic. So yeah, she was actually literally saying she wants to go for lessons, you know, and I'm thinking she's going to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's going to teach her things maybe for 5 minutes. Like, you just unlock this, take it out, get the car, put it back, lock it, make sure that it's nipped, and then you're done. Then off you
Just
go.
tell her to go to my YouTube channel. I have a video on how to change your car tire there.
Oh, I'll do so right after this.
That's nice.
Free lesson.
I will do so. I told her though, but then she was like, okay, yeah. So yeah, that's actually what happens. And I know a lot of things also that is happening with sensors. Like, people would be saying, no, this sensor is not working or it's not operational, only to find out that you just need to clip it in and then it's going to be operational. So, and you're going to be paying a lot of money, right? So yeah, I feel like we need to really educate ourselves a lot about all these things.
Okay. And then Lesotho, have you ever, I know, guys, okay, Lesotho, I'm sorry she didn't get a chance to do an introduction. But whenever you bump into Lesotho, this is the scenario that I see, right? I've bumped into her a couple of times. Listen to this. So Lesotho would be in a van, and at the back of the van, there would be machines, cutting grasses machines. There would be trees. There would be, there would be.
Oh, that's tree felling.
There would be, and she would be like, she would be, I don't know if date is the correct term to use, but she would be wetting in, like, yeah, I don't know. Listen, when you pour petrol, like, do you ever get the look that what's happening here, you know? Or have you ever experienced, have you ever even for once even called the gardener to say, you know, or even someone to say, like, you know, can you cut a tree for me? And they said to you 3,000 rand, and you think to yourself, you charge for that, you invoice every day, and this guy's just speaking a lot of nonsense.
Wow. Yes, good evening, everybody. So I've been having network problems. So yes, I get that all the time, where people are just like, what's going on? What is this lady doing? Why is she even here? Like, why does she have so many things in her bakkie? You know, the other time, I normally go to the same garages all the time because I frequent in those areas. And so the other guy was just like, you know what? Just please hire me once, just hire me, because I don't have all the questions, but I want to be a part of this whole thing that you run, because your car's always full and you're driving guy press, like, yeah. But you know, with people overcharging me or anything like that, I haven't actually been quoted by other people for garden stuff, because I do that all by myself. So I wouldn't have to need to get somebody else to do what I do for a living for us or for me. So yeah, that's it from my side.
Okay, great. Anyone, you're welcome to jump in. You don't have to wait for me. Just jump in any minute, anytime. You can tell your story if you've got an interesting story as well.
I think it's more. It's the same story as other ladies, guys. We always ask Uguti, do you guys even know what you're doing when you do plumbing? Do you know how to install a bath? do you know how to install a shower? And we're like, we do it. So we know how to do everything. Then they're like, oh, so you plumbers. So do you know how to unblock? We're like, we do everything. We're plumbers. So it covers everything. So the same story. Everyone will look at you like you're crazy for doing what you're doing because it's supposed to be done by men. So, and it's actually so nice.
And also some women, they stand behind us. Literally, we'll just be fixing a tap, you know, the simplest thing ever. And she's just worried, can you really do it? And the tap is the simplest one of all the jobs that we usually do. But we more or less have the same stories, like people are just shocked. Can you really do it? We always have to prove ourselves somehow.
Can we call Rajo to come and help you guys?
Wow, that's funny.
And then do you guys charge like normal prices, or you also rip people off?
No.
Like, for example, if it's a lady, you know, like to change a tap, and I'm also assuming, right? I'm assuming that you need a pipe. Okay, let me talk about my experience. Not so long ago, my basin pipe had a hole or something like that. I just went to the hardware, bought the pipe, and I changed it, you know. And that pipe was.
And you didn't call us. You didn't
50.
call us.
No, that I can do. That I can do.
You didn't call us again.
No, that I can do. You know. I mean, like I can't call the work if I need to change the tire. That I can do myself. You know.
Okay.
You know, so and I know a lot of ladies that panic during that time, and you're like, okay, you know, give me 500 rand, I'll change a tap for you. What's your pricing? Is your pricing is it sensitive when it's a male, it's a female, or it does not even matter? You've got standard pricing.
Got standard pricing.
We have standard pricing, and it's so reasonable. And that's another thing that we get. Yesterday, we were at Woolworths, ne? So this lady is asking us, what do you guys do? Because we're wearing overalls. So we told her that we're plumbers. Then she was like, are you guys qualified? Are you at school for it? We're like, yes, we are. So do you guys overcharge? How do you guys charge? We're like, we charge normal prices. If we're changing a tap for you, maybe it's gonna be 150. We're not gonna overcharge because you are a lady or you're a maid. Yeah. So we have standard prices. We don't have gender prices. It's normal prices.
Okay, great. And then Yolande, from your side, your experience, your journey.
For me, it's mainly on social media, where people are like, Aibo, she's really working with a circular saw. Aibo, she's really working with a drill. Can she really? And I've actually received one comment, and it came from a male viewer, and he was just saying, he can't believe that I'm married and that I'm still doing all these things. It's supposed to be my husband who does it. And and you know, when I responded to him, I was pissed, but I didn't respond in that manner. I really responded in a way to inform him that just because I can do these things, it does not take away any manliness or any masculinity from my husband. He's still a man. Whether I can change a car tire, whether I can build a headboard, whether I can build a coffee table, he's still a man. And I think I think because, you know, for us Africans, it's more, it's not just about women doing things that men are supposed to be doing, but it's the fact that we are African. An African woman is portrayed and perceived to look and be a certain way, especially if you're a Black African woman. You know?
That's true.
So
that's true.
Because of that culture, because of that African culture and how some of us were brought up, we think that it's abnormal for a woman to do plumbing or for a woman to do electrical stuff. you know, but I'm really excited for even this platform right here and hearing about all the diverse things that women are doing in a space that they've never been considered for, and that is very, very exciting. It's very, very exciting.
Wow.
But yeah, for me, it's mostly on social media where people are like, hi, Bo. Because when I go to the hardware store, I go in my overall so that they see that this girl knows what she's here to do.
Knows what
I've never gone to a
exactly.
hardware store. Yeah, I intentionally go to a hardware store dressed
an
up in
overall.
my either my apron or in my overall. I've never gone dressed all prim and proper. Maybe I should do that one day.
And shock them.
Yeah, just to test the waters, eh?
Invite dilo tsa tloga ko officing man. Go officing man. And he gave me like a long lecture. And then when I got to the school and I was applying, I had the choice to choose between electrical, bricklaying, plumbing, and I can't remember the other one. It was mechanical. Yes, it was mechanical. And then I chose plumbing because it's something mostly you'll hear people choose electrical and mechanical. I never thought that in civil I would find plumbing. So I went in, and my first experience of me loving it was holding my textbook. I got my textbook on the first day of school. I opened in my plumbing class because you divide it into four classes. So it's maths, it's plumbing, theory, it's building science, and it's drawing. So when I held my plumbing textbook, it highlighted what happens after you flush the toilet. There's like a whole so I was just blown away. Sorry about losing touch with all you guys. Yeah, so I was just blown away, and then I fell in love with it, and ever since it's been a 7-year journey up to this point. Yeah, that's how long it's been, and the industry is very broad. Hey, you know, you think you enter something and you think that you're just gonna learn this much of it, and there's like so much more of it, so much more of it.
Wow, that's great. And then anyone else that wants to share?
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
I had to become the part of the house. so so I then developed, you know, the love of fiddling, like to change things, and I then knew that actually my career has to be in engineering. Which one, I'm not sure. I'll see what streamline will I follow for me to be able to qualify for whatever engineering it may be. So, and then I actually saw much interest, or have noticed much interest into the electrical, and that was my first career. And I liked fiddling, I liked opening. You tell me that the iron is not working, I need to know why is it not working. I need to try it, fixing it before I can be sure that no, it's actually done, you know. And like your basics, changing your lights, you know, doing the basics in the house, like basic main switch, trying to open it, trying to see, and setting up the timers of the geysers. Yeah, I actually went as far as doing that. And yeah, so I then studied electrical engineering, and then I saw that it's not that challenging actually after I completed it. I'm just saying it's not challenging, but I felt like it's not challenging. So I saw a need for me to, you know, venture into mechanical, because I have actually noticed that there's a gap in terms of women into mechanical field. and I actually did not see myself different compared to any guys, and I saw myself as capable as them, and it just disturbed me that it was called a man dominated industry, and I was like, no, why is it, you know, gender based? Why can't we do it? I mean, yes, because it's not every man is muscular, right? Not every man can lift heavy stuff, right?
Well, I
So,
can.
and then it's like,
I can lift heavy stuff. Disclaimer.
exactly. And
Like
that's
even
fine.
look,
That's
even
okay.
right now, I'm lifting something heavy. I can. So, so disclaimer.
Yes. So yeah, and then I was like, no, man, actually it is okay for a woman to be in this industry, and let me do it. And yes, and then I then did my research on like, okay, engines for like cars, and I was like, okay, let me try this thing. So then well, Cummins gave me an opportunity to do an apprentice, and I actually left my electrical job, which was at LG then. That was about 9 years ago. So I left it, and then I tried this mechanical, and I was actually permanent at LG, and then I was like,
Can you fix a fridge? I've got an LG fridge. That is
Wow.
You can be able to fix a fridge. Let's speak to you, Yolande and Lesego. So I want to find out, since we're living in a very patriarchy society, you know, how was the support structure in terms of men around you, whether it be partner, whether it be dad, uncle, or whatever, any male figure around you? How was the support structure? Yolande can speak on it, Lesego can also speak on it, because I feel like sometimes women don't even see that they are enablers of for example, of the patriarchy system, you know, because sometimes you go home, you're like, Mom, I'm a gardener, and Mama, I don't know, finally you're pegging or finally all of those stereotypes that they have about what women should be. How was the support structure from your male counterparts? Anyone in your circle, uncle, father, whatever, and also from the female point of view?
For me, okay, you can go through, listen.
All right, thanks, Yolande. For me, very good question. I think it took time for people to actually understand what I'm trying to do, or what we were trying to do as business partners, myself and Dina. We actually females in the same space. And so it was very difficult for people to understand why we even going into this space. And even our staff, I think it was the class, like gardening is only for males. And but when you get to the upper class, you know, type of stuff, you know, landscaping and all of that, then we got to see that there's a lot of white women that actually do landscaping, you know, like older women. So we were supported by these like old women who've been in landscaping for like 30 years plus, who were like, no, come girly, pick up this thing. You mustn't let these guys tell you you're not able to do this thing. And we got the support and the confidence from being in these associations that have other women, but we'd find like much older women who are doing it. And you know, you could actually point very few ladies that are actually in this space that are young, you know. Personally, I've never met any other landscaper. Family, it took a while. Only now people understand what we're trying to do, and they respect our craft and respect the fact that we can do it as women. And I think the narrative is changing. You know, on social media, the conversation as women can do it. And, you know, being out there often and showing that, look, we are running this and we are doing it. It's actually helping people change their mindsets and understand that women can drive like landscaping and drive, you know, garden services, for instance. But yeah, it's really great. We're more nurturing, you know, and even when we engage with the clients, they prefer dealing with us compared to their old, you know, garden service suppliers who would, you know, tend their gardens. They're like, you guys are more nurturing than, you know, the males that would handle our gardens. And it's really encouraging to see that, you know, we are being, you know, welcomed in the industry quite well, actually.
Quite awesome. Yolande, just before you jump in, I just want to say I was a little bit conflicted before when you and Lesotho were speaking over each other, and I wanted to say ladies first, but I'm like, you guys, both of you guys are ladies.
Yeah, which lady? Which lady?
I was like, let me keep quiet because both of you guys are ladies, so let me just keep quiet. you can jump in, Yolande.
You are terrible. For me, actually, it was at home when I was growing up as a small little girl, where actually it was encouraged and nurtured. I was the first granddaughter. I was the first grandchild. And I was a girl, and he was a plumber by trade, and he was just blessed with his hands. So whenever he was doing something at home, whether he was changing his car tire or fixing the oil in his car or putting up tiles in the kitchen, he'd always call me to help him, and I'd be so excited to help, because I'm doing something fun. For me, it was a game. It was fun. Until I realized that actually I have a skill now, because even for my wedding, actually, I did the decor for my wedding, and friends and family were saying, you should do this more often. You know, you should do this more often. And that's how I then jumped into social media and creating a YouTube channel. So for me, it was really nurtured. It was encouraged, and I'm so grateful to even have a husband who encourages it. Actually, he even prefers it. If he knows that he doesn't need to worry about changing a light bulb, if I get somewhere, he doesn't have to worry about me, you know. So around me, the people that are very close to me have really nurtured it and encouraged it. It's just people that are on the outskirts that have really always had their eyes wide open whenever they see me working a drill. And yeah, I've never experienced any patriarchal opinions from people that are very close within my circles, but people outside my circles, yeah, I've gotten some really aggressive opinions and thoughts, and I'm very opinionated myself, so I gladly retaliate and return the favor.
Wow. I want to take it in a different route right now. So I've had a couple of conversations with ladies in in architect space. I've had a conversation with ladies in boxing space and the gym, and they're really, really buff, you know. Are you guys seeing any improvement in your industry? Because some will tell you that when I started class, there were like 10 ladies in this architect class, and when we graduated, only 2 graduated. Are you seeing any opportunities within whatever industry you're in? Are more ladies coming in? Are they getting the salaries they deserve? Is the industry opening up? And are you guys taking up spaces? Anyone can jump in here.
Yeah, then for us, I know few ladies, but the thing is they're afraid to start their own businesses. They always want to work for people. So, and in the day that we in now, in the year or rather that we in now, is like, if you don't start your own businesses, no one has got your own business, no one is going to hire you. So I always influence people that, can you please start your own thing so that you can be more recognized. And for us, we have IOPSA register you and PRBS. So there's a percentage that specify how many women are there in the plumbing field. So it's only 2% now this year. Last year and the year before last, it was 1% for the longest time. So it's
Oh
only
my
now
God.
that it's only now that it's 2%, imagine, of females that are in the
But that's an
plumbing
improvement from
industry.
1 to 2, from 1% to 2.
Yeah, an improvement.
I feel like it's low in a way.
Yeah.
Because why are they not doing it?
And then,
And also another impression that ladies have, I'm sorry ladies, but
Yeah.
another impression that ladies have is that, so you guys are gonna unblock. How do you guys feel after unblocking? And we're like, for me personally, I prefer unblocking more than installing clean water because there's less challenge there. Then with clean water, like you jive the whole day, and it gives you so much anxiety. So yeah. So I wish we can get more ladies in the plumbing industry. I so wish.
But also there's also a lot of ignorance as well. Hey, there are opportunities. You know, people like saying, the government doesn't offer any opportunities. When government does actually offer opportunities, Zama here, when our program started in for plumbing, she told a few people to apply, and people didn't apply. And even within the field itself, there are some people who are really not serious. It's like you there for the stipend, if I may put it like that. There for the stipend, and then when you get your certificate, whether you earned it or whether you paid for it or whatever, when you reach a stage where the municipality has to hire you, and you did not push yourself enough, you didn't go home and ask, can I fix toilet, can I please unblock your drain? If you don't push yourself hard enough, then you just gonna be you're gonna be a general worker. When you get to where you're going, you will wonder, why am I still in the general working space? Why am I not rising? So women, when you step into your space, you need to take up your space. Take it up.
Plus, just before anyone
You
else,
need to take up your space.
just before anyone,
Don't be apologetic. Don't be apologetic.
just before anyone else jumps into this topic, tell me, do you guys ever, Lwazi specifically, Zamava, let me just say Zamava specifically, does it ever come, like I'll also give a practical example from a corporate space, from an office space. So I work in a very female-dominated industry, or maybe, let me say office, let me rather put it that way. So some other days, the other female would be angry at the other female because of very heel and say, who's born and mom? And I'd be literally confused about what that is, you know what I mean? And the other one would be upset, you said happy birthday to me the next day, why did you put it on the group? All of those things. Do you ever face those challenges, like another plumber or female, I can do a better job, or I don't know, you think
Wow.
That's what happens in the office, and I'm like, I don't understand anything. I'm just in the blank. Whether I don't know how heels say that you are better, I really don't know. Like I put on my headset and I just continue working when they fight about those things. But do you ever get things like that, Zamava, to say I'm a Putuako, I'm a Putuako? I don't know how it would relate to you.
It's funny how you're asking that question, Thapelo. Yesterday we had an argument in class because we're still in school. So with the other ladies, so we're doing a brush up for our trade test. We're gonna write our trade soon.
Wow.
So they were fighting with us. You guys are always doing it. We work in pair because we work very in pair. So most of the time we prefer to work together, even in class, so that when we're outside class, we know how to work better. So we always prefer to do that like that. But sometimes we do something separately. So the issue is that now all the facilitators they like us, and we always get the job through the facilitators. And we're like, dude, we have a company that's registered first, and we're working. We go outside and find jobs for us, and you guys are not doing anything. And when we ask you guys to come join us, it's a problem. It's like, we don't want to work on site. So I was actually fighting yesterday. I was like, you guys can't tell us that. You can't tell us that we're taking time on doing a trade. We're going to take time, even if we take 20 years, until we get it right, we're going to take time. So it's always an issue working with girls. Working with girls is an issue. And especially, I'm sorry to say this, especially
no, don't be sorry.
girls.
Wait, don't be sorry. Let's first start there. Don't be sorry. Like, let me tell you, in my space, when you pull the "I'm sorry to say this," it's like it's not me, it's you. You know when someone breaks up with you and says, "It's not me, it's you." Yeah. So don't be sorry.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Anyone else that maybe can touch on, like, is the industry opening up for ladies, and more particularly, I think specifically for Black ladies? Let's speak about that.
For me, since I'm in the social media aspect, I always, whenever people say I'm a professional woodworker, I always correct them that no, I am not a professional. I am an enthusiast. An enthusiast is a person who's intrigued by something and loves doing it and learns how to do it, right? So for me, within the DIY space, within social media and being a content creator, being an influencer, I'll be frank. Brands do not recognize us. They do not see us.
I'm pushing for you.
And
right.
And it's really sad, because the Black woman, because now we're in South Africa, right? The Black woman in South Africa is the one who deals with budget. So she's the one who ensures that whatever is paid, whatever is bought, and a lot of women in South Africa live and run single households. There isn't a man in the house. And I really believe that that is a market that brands are just slacking in. And it's so sad, because it actually means that these brands are not marketing correctly. They are not marketing correctly. But with regards to opening opportunity for Black females within DIY, that is slacking on, I do not know
I agree.
what type of proportions, because there's other DIYers that are much bigger than me with regards to their numbers, their following, their platforms, and there is one who is of a different race than I am, and she has all the brand deals coming to her, and she doesn't even work with power tools. She does arts and crafty stuff.
Wow.
Which there's nothing wrong with. There's nothing wrong with doing arts and crafts, because that is also DIY. That's also a form of DIY. But they don't work necessarily with power tools and stuff. And you see them doing hashtag paid partnership, paid collaboration with, and you're like, this person,
you know why?
Use a power tool. Opportunity in the month of August, and I asked them to collaborate, and I asked them to collaborate with me for the month of August, and at the approach that they took as a continental brand, because I collaborated with them on a continental level. For a continental brand to invest.
Ladies, we fight more. We have to fight more than anyone else in this world. So
that is so true.
That's the same.
Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like,
But it's so sad.
yeah, because I still feel like physical strength is still considered more than, you know, just, you know, mental strength or capability.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have been engaged by gender, engaged by no, you can't do it. I will prove ourselves to show that hey, I can do it.
And it's so funny how we had this conversation a few months ago. We were on site, and the CLO on the construction side, she was complaining, there were people who came. There are people who came in and they were doing plastering for. They got a subcontract to do plastering. So she chose one lady and they chose two gentlemen. So the two gentlemen failed on this particular
represent.
So they gave her one room, and now when they're giving her this one room, she does the best. Now to move on to get the other 3 rooms to plaster, they were still sitting in a board meeting to negotiate whether she should continue or whether they should bring a gentleman on board. I mean, she did the best, so give her the rest.
Out of 2 men.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's the sad
we constantly
thing,
have
that
to prove ourselves.
we need to prove ourselves 10 times more.
Yeah.
Like, you've proven yourself once, you've proven yourself twice, you've proven yourself 9 times, but you are needed to also prove yourself an additional time.
And another funny thing,
another
funny thing with proving ourselves, we always take videos when we work. So a male will ask you, can you grind, can you drill? And we're like, yes, we do grind and we'll do drill. Then they'll be like, okay, show us some videos. Then we show them. They're like, is this you? Now, namanga, singuelo. And we're like, dude, you see, I was like, that's for the video.
Yeah.
You finally got,
so sad.
You ladies finally know how it feels when you do the 90-day rule thingy, you know? So that's how it feels.
That not even equate.
That is not the same.
You keep on proving yourself for 90 days. You need to prove yourself for first days. Okay, well, ladies, I want to wrap up this conversation. Thank you very much, actually, for your time. Z, did you have enough information? Do you need any additional information? I think up will I'll just open the platform for anyone to say anything that you guys think the world needs to hear or know or whatever, or even like upcoming females that want to come into your industry, you know, about taking up spaces, to say, are you guys opening up those spaces when you get into those leadership positions? A lot of conversations I have is that female, when they get into leadership positions, they don't necessarily open up doors for another females because they don't want competition, but more males would open up for females and all of this.
Yeah.
So you will do, everyone will have a chance to do closing. So it's not linked to anything specific, anything like whatever you feel in here, you know, just speak it. Just before I hand the platform to everyone, I'll just give it to Z if Z has anything, and then I'm good from my side.
Okay, so more than anything, I just think I need to have this disclaimer. I wasn't here to be creepy and just listen to y'all. I'm here because I'm collecting content. So yeah, I really wasn't here to be creepy. I'm just here to listen to your guys' stories and collect as much content as I possibly can for future content that I'll be creating. So Thapelo did come to me with the proposal of he's going to be hosting women of your caliber, or people who are basically in male-dominated industries. And because I have platforms, rather I have one major platform.
Sorry to disturb you quickly. I've got literally 10 minutes left. So
yeah, no, I'll be quick. So what I'm here to do is just literally just observe and get content and use whatever I think will be necessary and might help the next person who follows one of my platforms or read one of my magazines or online platforms. So I did manage to get quite a lot from, I think you guys have seen, I wasn't on my phone, I was taking notes. Be in contact with some of you guys with a couple of questions. Mine will be slightly longer, that's why I didn't want to ask them now. And then because I'd also want you to pass on the knowledge that you have to other people who might need it and might, be able to use it to better themselves and other people in the society as a whole. So more than anything, just like a slight comment on what all of you guys have to say. It's not necessarily a question or anything, it's just like an observation and like something that I'd like to commend, Ubuti, you guys are doing really amazing, especially considering the fact that you guys are in the industry that you are in, and you have made names for yourselves and are forced to be reckoned with in this very niche industry that you decided to venture into. I mean, all of you guys, from gardening to plumbing to DIYing, it's very, I'm going to use the word taboo because that's how a lot of people still dub it as taboo, which is not. It's just like GBV, like gender-based violence. It shouldn't be like that, but society makes it like that. I feel like with the kind of careers that you guys have as well,
I think it's us.
It's like, it's like people kind of, they make it this big thing, whereas it's supposed to be like a norm. Like what you can do, I can do. And it's not a matter of like strength or anything, but it's just a matter of ability and passion and willingness to,
Thank you.
So I literally just want to commend you guys and say you are doing amazing. It takes people with certain personalities to kind of bear what you guys go through, because I can only imagine what you guys go through on a daily basis, having to prove yourself over and over and over again, and you can't even have kind of like inserted a certain perception of what you have to offer. So I can only imagine, but to bear and to bring through it all and still like conquer and do the most. You guys are my bottom.
Thank you.
Thank you, Z. So it's going to be
That's
like
it for me.
1 minute
left.
1 minute each person, and then I'll say when the 1 minute is done. We'll take it from Zamava, let's say Tebogo, and then Yolande.
Okay.
Also, please follow us on our social media page to see what we are capable of. And also, Ningati, are these really you guys? It's us. So yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you guys so much, and I wish you guys all the best. And I hope we could meet one day and have a high.
I also will feel the same way that other ladies feel. I wish we can meet and talk and do more of this, friendly, and empower other women that want to, like are in this field already and are feeling a bit discouraged somehow. So I'll just like to say to them, write your own story and don't let anyone dictate how you must live your life, you know. So write your own story and consistently you know, live it. I mean, give it in so that people can, you know, sink it into their mind that, hey, this is Tebogo, or this is Yolande, or this is Lozi, and she's a plumber, and that's what she does, and she does it with passion, you know. So don't let anyone write your story. So yes, I am so encouraged and excited about this thing. I hope for the best next time. Thank you.
Lesego, I think I was
Oh, okay.
Lesego.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Great meeting all of you. So everything, you know, from naming plants in their scientific names, and dealing with plants and knowing all these plants, knowing all our indigenous plants, and teaching people how to love their environment, and, you know, just teaching people how to actually just go out there and live out their passions. I think I'm very honored to be part of this panel. So all the best to all of you guys, and yes, definitely, please, let's follow each other and stay in contact.
Thank you.
Yeah. For me, my closing remarks is I share all the sentiments you ladies have mentioned. I'm so excited and privileged to have been part of this panel, and I'm just inspired by all your different fields that you are passionate and love so much. And just what I always close off every video with and everything that I do with is that power tools have no gender. And it's so beautiful to be on this platform that lives and breathes the fact that the things that we are doing should not limit us based on gender. So this has been Thapelo, can you please connect us on our socials, because to just get our names and stuff so we can follow each other?
Okay, no, definitely I will do that. I will send an email CCing everyone. I will mention social media platforms of everyone. Of course,
awesome. Thank you.
Social media. Lastly, thank you very much, ladies.